Like, since I was literally 12, I can't wait to be a mom. I cannot wait to have babies.
It's hard to say I forgive her when she did so many nasty things to me.
The Dance Moms reunion, and is JoJo Siwa canceled yet? Hey guys, it's Jordan Sparks. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be covering a lot of Dance Moms / entertainment news again. And we're going to be starting with a reaction to your guys' opinions, basically, and what the world has to say about the brand new Dance Moms reunion.
They violated their own contracts. These are reasons why they're not coming for us.
As well as we're going to elaborate a little bit more on the Rolling Stones article concerning Leigha and her mother Anjie Sanderson and the XOMG pop girls that were under the reign of JoJo Siwa. So if you're interested in all that, make sure to stick around and let's hop right into it. Adrian Deontay Smith 2020 says, I don't blame the other young ladies that did not attend. Lifetime has capitalized enough from their childhood trauma, which honestly, literally so true. I'm not sure if Nia wanted to attend or not, but we don't really know. All we know is that she did not attend. But definitely Lifetime has capitalized a ton off of their trauma and continues to. And Sarah Allen 1316 says, Dear JoJo, Maddie, Kenzie, and Nia don't have to be there if they didn't want to be. Praise the ones who showed up and respect the ones that didn't. It's not nice to talk about people that can't defend themselves. Totally fair, totally adequate. That's all I want to say. Have a blessed day, everyone. And honestly, that is so true. The ones that showed up, good on them. And I don't understand people. I've also heard on the internet people ripping them down, being like, can you just let this die or let this go to rest? And it's like, this was their entire childhoods. And if they want to make a bag off of coming and doing a reunion, then they can. And if they just wanted to come do it for the public so that everybody can hear where they are now and how they feel about the experience, or for the cathartic experience for themselves, that's all totally fine and dandy as well. The next comment here says, training man's best friend 7903, then why did you leave? Bahaha, go off Kendall. So Kendall was calling out JoJo Siwa for leaving the show in the Dance Moms reunion.
No matter how bad it got, I always wanted to be there.
Then why did you leave?
Which leads me to my question, which is, I'm wondering if the girls were prompted or given some kind of bonus before this reunion, kind of like how the moms were told that they needed to fight, or they would be like, okay, you can go to dinner as soon as you guys start fighting. I wonder if the girls were prompted to be like, okay, initiate as much drama or try and start an argument or really dig and really pry for this reunion. I'm not sure, but who knows? Oh, no way, JoJo just said that at the end there. Oh, I can't stand her. These people have literal trauma from the show. Why should they have to be forced to then talk about that, especially in an environment that reminds them of that trauma? It's such a selfish thing to say and also just so unnecessary. JoJo is literally the current day Abby, ISTG. Then in the comments of this comment, somebody said, exactly, at 20 years old, she still cannot respect other people's experiences. It's exhausting to watch. And that's what I feel like. I feel like JoJo struggles with social cues, social boundaries maybe, and either she just can only see things from her own opinion when in these circumstances, or she just doesn't care about how other people feel because she just talks so much when she shouldn't. The next comment says she shouldn't have been there, and a bunch of people have been saying that online as well, or saying like, can you at least limit JoJo's airtime in this reunion? I'm honestly wondering if she's gonna get fired, because isn't she hosting for the new So You Think You Can Dance season, or like on the new panel as one of the judges, and there's so much negative media surrounding her right now that I'm wondering if she's going to end up getting fired.
For now, the dancer has her plate full as she's the newest judge on So You Think You Can Dance, telling Access Hollywood that this season will be a completely different competition show.
Oh my gosh, it is incredible. It is a whole new version of So You Think You Can Dance. The talent this season is unlike ever before. We're currently still filming, and we every day are having the hardest time because it is difficult, just so good.
And Anaya Perry 5583 says, to clear it up, they said that Nia had midterms or an exam of some sort, and you can't miss those types of things. I personally heard that she was rushing her sorority, not exams, but a lot of people have been saying both. She decided to further her education in college, and sometimes college commitments and obligations come first. Yes, your education definitely needs to come first, especially when you're paying a pretty penny to be there. Now, Mackenzie and Maddie, I'm not sure, but I did hear that about why Nia was not there. Mackenzie herself said that they didn't want to be there because they just wanted that to live in the past, and they're tired of dragging it up over and over and over, and they just want to move on from the experience. The legendary movie critic says Kendall clocking Jojo Siwa for leaving is so iconic. And it seems like everybody else is agreeing with you as well. And for you guys that don't remember, Jojo apparently left over that ballet duet, but she did further move on to have a full 360 deal with Nickelodeon, so I don't know why she really did leave. And Arona Corey says, nah, Jojo had no right to talk about Maddie, Kenzie, and Nia like that. Like, yes, they have all been traumatized by the show, and some people just don't want to revisit parts of their life that destroyed them. Like, Melissa even said that till to this day, Kenzie is still self-conscious about her body because Abby body shamed her, and Nia had exams and stuff during this specific day, so for Jojo to talk about them like that is actually so rude. Again, seems everybody seems to have the same opinion that Jojo just really needs to learn how to be quiet sometimes. Pigeon Face for Life says, I love the irony that Brooke is the oldest, yet she's the shortest of them all. I love Dance Moms. And honestly, it is ironic, but it also makes sense because when they casted this team, they wanted them to all look around the same size. So it would make sense why they would have to cast a really short 13-year-old in order for her to blend in with a group that literally included like a 6-year-old and a bunch of like 7, 8, 9-year-olds. Jojo needs to go somewhere with that mess. She's literally Abby 2.0. She got a lot of nerve talking about you not being here. Girl, sit down somewhere. So it seems the theme of today's video is that a lot of people are very, very unhappy with JoJo Siwa at this very specific moment.
It's been so great. I mean, it's so fun growing up. It's so fun changing. It's so fun deep diving into massive projects. I mean, deep diving into So You Think has been, I feel like honestly, just in this last few weeks that we've been filming, 5 weeks, it's been so great to just like evolve, change, follow what's going on. It's insane.
Apparently the internet is all up in arms and shocked about all of JoJo's tattoos, but I don't know. I think she's just trying to deflect attention right now. Ice Taco said, I felt so bad for Kalani. She was blaming herself.
I can't believe I caused that. I don't know if I can talk about this.
And true, I felt bad as well because it was not Kalani's responsibility that Abby Lee Miller and maybe Kira or whomever, the producers, conspired to have Kalani and Maddie learn a duet and go perform that duet. And how is Kalani, a child, going to have any way of knowing that that was going to cause this giant blow up between Kelly and Abby and that Brooke and Paige would be leaving the show? That was not her fault at all. She was just used as a pawn in that game, and she performed beautifully. Two Sapphires is one of the most beautiful duets from the entire show, in my opinion, as a dance coach and as a professional dancer, but it was not her fault that Brooke and Paige and Kelly ended up leaving the show. So next I want to talk about the whole XOMG Pop and JoJo Siwa situation, because Leigha and Anjie posted quite a long live stream, and they talked about everything to do with the contract that they had signed with JoJo and her mom, and they talked about everything that they could talk about except for the girls that do have NDAs. They just wanted to wish them the best and kind of not really speak for them when they are under a contract that they can't speak for themselves because they don't want to get anybody in trouble. But let's get into that.
But my contracts are about this thick. And today I want to talk about some of the money, because we've talked a lot about money that the girls were promised and not paid for their work. So today I want to...
So we're about to get into the nitty-gritty of the record contract that Leigha and Anjie signed. But we're also going to hear why it is that Jess and JoJo can't legally come after Leigha and Anjie. And we're also going to hear in Anjie and Leah's words themselves why it is they personally didn't have to sign an NDA / why they chose not to.
Talk a little bit about that. It talks about here compensation, and it says right here, a flat fee of $500 per week for each week of rehearsals, prorated for partial weeks. So if they would have worked I just want to explain to y'all the money that we thought the children were getting. So if they worked 3 days instead of 5, they should have gotten $300. If they worked 4, $400, 5, $500. And this is for a 5-day week. Anything over 5 days would be considered, I would think, overtime. So for any rehearsals, they should have been paid basically $100 a day for a 5-day week. And here it talks about for touring, so like Mall of America, when they were on JoJo's tour, whatever, they should have been compensated $1,000 per week. Again, prorated for a 5-day week. So if they were only on tour for 3 days, then it was it would have been $600. So basically $200 a day, and that's for 5 days. So if they worked over 5 days, they would have needed to be compensated more for that. And then it talks here about the per diem of $35 a day, which is nothing. But we generally, when we went out of town, did get the per diem, the $35 a day, $35 for the girl, $35 for the mom, which still was not enough money to when you were traveling and stuff like that. And especially when I was using my own money to, $30 is one merch bag. And that's if it's not overweight. There was one time I did get reimbursed for carrying the merch luggage, but the rest of the time I did not, even though I submitted receipts. So this didn't even cover me carrying the merch luggage. So that's here. I'll post this section on my Instagram tomorrow so everybody can see it in black and white. And I want to emphasize that these are children that they took advantage of. These are their own contracts that they did not go by. These are their own contracts that they really made null and void.
So despite what you may think or how you may feel about JoJo Siwa and Jessalyn Siwa, I just want you to hear out Leigha and Anjie and let them explain their side of the story, even if you're a giant JoJo Siwa fan, just so that you can hear where they're coming from and make sense of this all for yourself.
These are their own contracts that they really made null and void. So this here is talking about advances, but these are advances for merchandise. So it says here, 10,000 United States dollars within 5 business days following the date that Team Siwa exercises their option period. So the girls should have received $10,000 the first year, and then when Jess optioned their contracts, or basically renewed their contracts for the second year, the third year, they should have gotten $10,000 advances per girl. This is strictly for merchandise. So Leah's owed $20,000 just in merchandise advances that were never paid to her, and so were all the other children. And to my knowledge, the children did not receive that going into the third year either. So some of these, and honestly, she was still using Leah's face on merchandise into the third year. So Leah should have been paid another $10,000 for them using her face still. So that's $30,000 just in merchandise advances, which is an advance on your payment, which she did not get. So where's the lawyer? I do have a lawyer who has looked over all of that. Thank you. And our initial lawyer that did these agreements that we were all forced to sign to be able to be on the show was actually paid for by the Siwas. That's why these are so bad. And we didn't realize it. And he told us we were getting a great deal. That's Avi Dahan out of California. So never use him. He's not honest. And then here it's talking about recording. And I will put all these sections here. It's talking about recording. So the first contract year, the children should have been, that's initially right when they made the group, they should have been paid $9,000 for just for being in a contract with the Siwas. The second year should have been paid $12,000, and they were, when she optioned their contracts, they did get this $12,000. But this is the $12,000, if you saw the text from Jessalyn, that she calls a gift to the children. This was not a gift. She contractually owed them the $12,000. So where she got that it was a gift, I have no idea, because there were no gifts. And then consecutively 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th years, if she options your contract, it goes up to $15,000 each year, just for optioning your contract. This is talking about recording the album. It says, in connection with your delivery to Team Siwa of the master constituting the single in fulfillment of your recording commitment for the single contract period, Team Siwa will pay you in advance in the amount of $10,000, which Leigha got $4,250 of $10,000. But that's for a single. That's for one song. So when they did Candy Hearts, they should have been given an advance of $10,000. Then it says, in connection with your delivery to Team Siwa, the masters constituting an EP, they should have been given $20,000. We didn't technically release an EP. We just kept releasing singles until Party Like a Pop Star. So there should, in my understanding, there should have been advances for every single that was released. But we didn't get an EP. But if we had done an EP, there would have been a $20,000 advance. However, listen to this. In connection with your delivery to Team Siwa of the masters constituting the album in fulfillment of your recording commitment for the first album contract period, Team Siwa will pay you in advance in the amount of $50,000, except if you are the winner, such advance shall be $75,000. Says it right here. So the children were considered winners because they made the group, right, from the TV show. So it says right here, not a $10,000 for the album. It says $75,000 for the album. She got $44,250. But I do want to make it clear they did put $1,500 into her Coogan account. They violated their own contracts. These are reasons why they're not coming for us, because they can't, because contractually they have violated their own contracts. That's what, and also you can't call slander, you can't call liable if it's the truth. And the thing is, I think we talked about last time that we didn't sign our kids up to be YouTube stars. We thought they were, or, to make 7,000 TikToks and do all that. We signed up to be part of a pop group, touring, performances, recording. And when we weren't doing that, we thought we would be allowed to go home, but we were not allowed to go home. And nowhere in these contracts does it state that we were required to live in California, that we were required to relocate to California. Nowhere does it say that. So we assumed we would go, do our business, do rehearsals, and then when we weren't actively working, we would be let to go home. And these are children being mistreated and not paid for work. And, now everybody's talking about JoJo's tattoos.
I actually have 2 tattoos dedicated to him. This one's dedicated to my baby girl one day. Her name is Freddie. Then this is dedicated to twin boys, Eddie and Teddy.
Freddie, Eddie, and Teddy.
Freddie, Eddie, and Teddy. I want 3 babies. I have my sperm donor lined up.
Well, let's not forget her tattoos in the scheme of things are not that important. The fact of the matter is these children being mistreated and taken advantage of and used as cash cows. Their faces were sold. Their voices were sold. Their blood, sweat, and tears were sold. And the Siwas did not live up to their contractual obligations. Period. Them choosing to make fun of a child and her mother, it's gross what they're saying, about me being Dee Dee Blanchard. Well, first of all, I've never used Leah's disability ever to gain any money. I've only used her disability maybe to help others. I've even been told that we stole the toys from the toy drive, when clearly if you go to her Instagram, you can see us delivering toys year after year after year. Yeah.
You've got to admit that comparing her to Dee Dee Blanchard is absolutely heinous, horrible, and disgusting. There's absolutely zero comparison.
That we didn't give the toys. I mean, clearly we partner with Scottish Rite on this. Clearly we're there taking pictures of the toys. Clearly we're putting everything on the Instagram. We're tagging Scottish Rite if we were being dishonest in any way. But see, the people accusing us of that are the ones who are actually dishonest. They have to deflect from the fact that they have misused, abused, and not paid these children for their work, not even by California labor laws, but by their own contracts. They have not paid these children.
Yeah, and also, like, you literally can't fake what I have.
No, spina bifida is not something that...
You're born with it.
Yeah.
It's not something that you...
Not something that you can fake. She's been going to the same doctors since she was an infant at Texas Scottish Rite Hospital for Children, and her doctors at Children's Medical Center. And those two hospitals and most of the doctors work together. Some of the doctors work both places. There's not even any way for me to like finagle one doctor at one place and one doctor at another place, because they all talk. The My Chart that Leigha has is connected to both hospitals. All of her stuff, all of her details from the time she's attended either hospital since infancy is in her My Chart that can be any doctor from Scottish Rite or from Children's, or I think even her primary care, can access all of those records. There's no way to fake a tethered spinal cord.
Okay, so yes, they 100% knew that I had a disability before I was even on the show. Like, it was something that we were very, very transparent with, because it's something that I have to deal with and I can't just put aside. And so it was very, very clear. Everything, we talked to like all the producers, we've talked to Jess and JoJo about it. Like, it was...
Well, you can look on episode 8. They talk a lot about Leah's spina bifida on episode 8. Like, actually on the show. It's not something we ever would hide. We talk about her disability on Dancing Queen. Jess and JoJo watched Dancing Queen, so they knew about Leigha before she ever came and auditioned. Brian Stinson is a friend of Justin Johnson's. He knew because he had watched Dancing Queen. These people knew ahead of time, and we never try to hide it. It's on her social media, and that would be on us if we did try to hide that, but not in all the school teachers knew, everybody knew, the other parents knew. We talk about it on multiple episodes of the TV show. So yeah, they knew. And thing is, powerful people will continue to take advantage of children in this industry because they are literally not held accountable for it. And frankly, we need your help. We need social media's help. We need, everybody's help to continue to hold them accountable. We're very appreciative to Code Deb. We're very appreciative to Trisha Paytas. We're very appreciative to Adam McIntyre.
And to all of you guys who continue to
support us, all the support we've received on Reddit. And there's been so many people, I'm not thinking of all of your names, that have made TikToks, and other YouTubers. The Sesh, I watched their YouTube video today, that are speaking out against this. And, we're really appreciative of all the support. We've gotten way more support. Mainly, the only negativity we've gotten have been from members.
Fake accounts.
Fake accounts are members of Jess's family. But people who reside in the real world and know what's right and what's wrong, and who aren't, still drinking the Kool-Aid, they are reasonable and can see that this is wrong. And don't get me wrong, you know what? I don't hate Jess's sister. I don't hate Jess. I just want Jess and JoJo to do what's right by Leigha, and to do what's right by the other children, and to stop misusing and abusing the trust of the children and the parents. That's even for the girls still in the group, because they're still doing it. I bet you everything that they're still doing it because people are still drinking the Kool-Aid. And I don't miss, you know what? And if that was my sister, I'd be doing the same thing that Tess is doing. I don't fault her for that, because you want to defend your family. But the fact is, this is black and white, and it's just indefensible. And it's also, people attacking a child, calling her a snake for speaking her truth, is ridiculous. People comparing me to Dee Dee Blanchard
is crazy.
Is ridiculous, because
this doesn't lie. Like, it doesn't lie. It's right here. It's in proof. So
yeah, black and white. And right now, the tattoos and the calling me Dee Dee Blanchard and saying Leah's a snake, which I have never attacked any of the moms or any of the girls ever. And there are things that we could both say But we have never done that, and we won't, because we have too much class to ever come for a child or one of the moms that is in the group. And they continue to come for us, and they do it, and they don't do it as themselves, which makes them even shadier. Just say what you got to say as yourself. Stop making fake accounts and telling lies. You know, it's ridiculous. Yep. And somebody on Reddit was saying that, like, we shouldn't be worried about the kids making money. So a child's work shouldn't have any value. Their blood, sweat, and tears shouldn't have any value. And as their parent, we shouldn't want them to get their money.
It's like if somebody goes to do a job, if they're an adult and they go to do a job, they need to get paid, right? They're going to do a job. That's what we were doing. It doesn't matter our age.
And honestly, right here in black and white, it says they were going to pay them. It says they should have paid them. You know, maybe instead of buying $5,000 worth of balloons or paying $7,500 a month for the XOMG Pop House, they should have put that money into paying the kids and doing what's right by the kids, because we definitely could have done what we did, our little music videos and stuff, for a lower budget, because honestly, it wasn't like the high budget ones were going viral, or, you know, they didn't make our girls superstars. Yeah, and somebody's on here is saying they're buying YouTube, they're buying this, they're buying that. It wouldn't surprise me. There's no way to prove that, but yeah, that would not surprise me. When something goes viral out of the blue for no other reason, it's not real. You know.
Or when the likes don't match the views.
Yeah, or when the likes don't match the views.
Comments,
or there's
like
10 there's 1 million views and 10 comments. No, that's really not what's happening. That if y'all will continue to speak up, it will help make this, not just for Leigha, but for the other girls that are not in the group, the girls that are still in the group. If y'all will continue to speak up, go to other platforms. Go talk about it on the So You Think You Can Dance platforms, on the Live Nation platforms. Live Nation needs to make sure that when those girls go on tour this summer, that they are paid for that work. Thomas Global Media should make sure that those girls got the advances they were supposed to get as the licensing person. And I have emails from him saying he doesn't care about that. He only cares about his business. When he emailed me threatening me because they lost a deal because I posted the 5-finger photo, and he sent me all these threatening emails and everything, he said he doesn't care that the girls aren't getting paid. So people should be telling him too. I mean, it's not okay. It's not okay. And contracts don't lie.
Yep.
And if we just glom onto, JoJo's acting crazy because of her tattoos, her Instagram posts are crazy, or whatever, that's what they want. They want to deflect from this issue.
She's doing all of this to make this go away, so everybody focuses on something else.
On her. She wants them to focus just on her, and, maybe she's acting out, or maybe she's this, or maybe she's that. Well, she's having to do all this to deflect from the truth coming out.
Yeah, and we know that's what is happening because stuff like that has happened before.
But if you want to see these, just go to my Instagram. I'll make a hard feed post tomorrow of the sections that I talked about tonight. Somebody said documentary when. We did actually have a meeting about that. So
we don't know what's going to come of it yet.
But we did have a meeting last week. It could come to nothing, these things, or it could come to everything. So it just depends. Okay,
and it also depends if we all keep talking about it and keeping it relevant.
If we knew we weren't getting paid, why didn't we leave before we got kicked out? Because we were told in a meeting, because one of the moms had tried to leave early. She was really upset, and I'm not going to say who it was, but she had tried to leave. And a year into the group, I believe, it was in September, the 2nd September, she had tried to leave and said she didn't know if she was coming back. She was on a plane to fly home, and we had to all go to this meeting. And Jesselyn told us that if we ever tried to leave the group, that we better be ready to pay her $175,000, and we better have a good lawyer.
So basically, we were stuck.
Yeah.
And we couldn't leave.
You didn't have a choice because, again, they didn't abide by the contracts, but we were expected to abide by the contracts. And they're the ones with the money. So unless I had $175,000, I didn't think I could get out.
Okay.
Why did I offer to sign my daughter? Okay, here's where the things...
This is where the lines blur.
Yeah, there is a form that any child actor, any parent can sign for a child to go on set for the day
with a different
guardian. It doesn't have to be a parent. It could be a friend. It could be a sister. I know there's a lady in LA who she will basically rent her. You pay her a daily rate and she'll go to set with your child. And you sign a paper giving them the right to be on set with your child, to take care of your child.
It's not like set. Signing your parental rights over.
No, that's idiotic. I would never do that. I wouldn't have even left California. I would have just sent her to set with Tracy and signed the paper for Tracy to take her. Or if my daughter came out, I would have signed the paper for my daughter. We did that on the set of Siwa's Dance Pop. We all signed those forms when the moms would go on outings. We would have babysitters come. 1 week it was my two older daughters, Kiana and Brianne.
1 week it was Kaya's dad.
One week
it was Brooklyn's dad.
Yeah, 1 week it was Dallas's dad and grandma. And we all signed the paper for the kids to be under their guardianship while we were offset. That's all it was. It was for on set. I was never leaving her. I was never signing my rights away to her. And this was before we were fired, when Jess was mad at me because I had complained. At that point, we weren't fired. After they fired Leigha, I never spoke to them again other than to get my flight information.
Yeah.
And then when she started texting, they sent me the 5-finger post and Jess started sending me the nasty texts. But I didn't contact her. She contacted me. And I've never contacted her since. And since they fired us, I haven't contacted her.
Yeah.
I was just trying to work out this situation when we were on probation. Like, I just thought it was going to be a temporary thing. So temporarily, I was like, listen, y'all are mad at me. I'll do whatever, Because there were some things that were going on. The Dancers Against Cancer video, a photo shoot, and something else that Leigha really wanted to be a part of. We weren't fired. And so I was just offering up solutions if they were mad at me and didn't want me around. So Leigha could go back to work because she wanted to.
Yeah.
So that's what that's about. And I think I've answered that question a bunch of times, but.
All right. Yes. So there were after the 5-finger, picture, there was a group chat. I think my mom has posted messages of just sending her nasty texts saying
they're on Reddit if you haven't seen them.
Yeah.
Yes, the 5-finger post should prove, and it was Jesselyn's idea to do that and to send that picture to me, and the school teacher's in it holding up her 5 fingers. Everybody but Tracy, and I'm so thankful to her, is holding up their 5 fingers. And Tracy did not do it, and when she was in the picture, she absolutely didn't know that they were going to send it to me or be nasty. And so, that's not on her. Again, I just want to reiterate that whenever I talk about that picture. But yes, that picture does prove they don't give a rat's rear. And the school teacher doesn't give a rat's rear about children. And she called me after I posted that, bawling, telling me she was so sorry that she never wanted to hurt a child. And I told her, Heather, you did. You hurt a child. And, that's on you. And if anything happens, because at that point, Leigha was very low mentally, I said, you played a part in that as well. So shame on you. And I hung up the phone on her.
Why didn't we sign an NDA? Because they tried to get us to sign one, but we said no.
We said no.
Yeah, and it was
they just wanted us to sign an NDA.
And it was in writing that I was out of the group. So
yeah, we had it in writing that she was fired. They didn't option her contract for the 3rd year, so she's not under that contract option. And they didn't offer to pay her what they owe her. There was nothing in it for us to sign an NDA. Yeah. We just fade into oblivion and don't get to tell our story. Leigha doesn't get what's owed to her, which she's still not, but that's okay. At least we got to tell our story. And they just get to go on doing whatever they're doing. And that was a choice we made along with Leah's dad and with our family and with our lawyer and stuff like that we were not willing just to fade into oblivion. Do you guys know if JoJo and all the other people you're talking about are remorseful or sorry a little bit about this situation? I don't think so at all. And if you look, was it a TikTok where she was like, receipts, blah, 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 blah.
It was something I saw online.
It was a TikTok.
It was like she was mocking us. Like, it was very apparent that she was mocking us. I don't remember where I saw it, but it's out there.
It's either on TikTok or Instagram. It might have been on her Instagram story because I had somebody tell me that she wasn't brave enough to, like, leave it up. But it said receipts, screenshots.
It's that, like, sound of, like, Abby Lee, and then she was, like, going like this, like, mocking us for showing all of our receipts and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, girl, we're going to show them. They're right here. Okay?
And
they don't lie.
And so, so she's not remorseful at all.
XOMG.T reposted the reel. I think that's where I saw it.
So, she's not remorseful at all that we can see. She's just trying to deflect from the situation. JoJo once told me that nobody can actually get canceled because by the next news day everything just goes away, and I just don't think that that's okay. She thinks that she can do whatever she wants and not be canceled. So do people like the people that I'm not going to call any of those people out, but y'all know who she hangs out with. All those people think that they can't be canceled, that they should be able to do whatever they want and not be canceled, and it doesn't matter who they hurt, especially children, and it does matter. It does matter because these are children.
My cat is meowing at the door.
Did they start the group just for money, trying to recreate another JoJo? I think it was yes, trying to recreate another JoJo. I think JoJo wanted to move into the adult realm.
I think it was trying to give her mom something to do.
And and Jess thought that she could create this pop group. And honestly, it was a great idea because if you look back at the Mickey Mouse Club or Kids Incorporated, things like that really caught fire, right? Like those were great, wholesome things, wholesome kids for kids to look up to. Some of the Nickelodeon things and stuff like that. But the mismanagement was incredible. And I never got to say this to Jess, and I hope it gets to her. She thought that JoJo created herself from YouTube. JoJo was created on
Nickelodeon.
She was on how many seasons of a cult classic TV show, Dance Moms? 4 or 5 seasons? That's how people knew her name. Then because of AUDC and Dance Moms, then Karen Sterling, who they should be thanking and not firing. I wish I had somebody like that for Leigha that, did as much as Karen did for JoJo. I certainly wouldn't be firing them. However, anyway, then Karen was able to pitch JoJo to Nickelodeon, not because of YouTube, not because of social media, but because of Dance Moms and her popularity on Dance Moms and AUDC. These girls didn't have that. They had 1 season of a Peacock show that wasn't even good enough to get season 2. Some lame 8 episodes. Like Dance Moms is like 30 episodes a season. So if she did 4 seasons at 30 episodes, that's like 120 episodes of a TV show, a cult classic TV show. That's how people know who JoJo was. And the fact that they were smart and wore a bow, and she became JoJo with the bow, and then Karen was able to get her with Claire's, the Nickelodeon, and the bows and all of that. That's how all of that came about. It wasn't from YouTube. Did YouTube help her popularity? Did it help her push her merch?
Yeah.
Did it help her get a social media following? 100%. But again, YouTube now is not what it was back then. So trying to make these kids stars with no distribution, only strictly on YouTube, was just making slime videos, was just unrealistic with 8 seasons of basically a failed TV show.
Hey-o. We have a lot to do today. We're gonna do a group number and we're gonna do a trio. We gotta figure out who needs extra help and who is flying down the road ready for the next challenge.
On Peacock, a brand new streaming. It wasn't even like it was 8 episodes on Netflix or Hulu. It was Peacock, which I watch it every day. They have some great shows.
Leigha, you're strong dancers. Get it up there. And one of you is gonna be in the trio and one of you is not gonna be in the trio. If I had to do it right now, I would pick Leigha, hands down.
But it was like their first year out. They were brand new.
And also there was not good advertising for the show. There was like none at all. So not many people knew that it was coming out until it was already out.
Yeah. So, listen, we just didn't have the exposure that JoJo had. And honestly, I think they thought JoJo's exposure could skyrocket the girls, but that obviously did not happen. Did it get them a few fans? Yes. And we would get these nasty texts constantly telling us, you're not pushing the merch, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. It got to where the girls could only wear merch. They couldn't wear any regular clothes. They had to stop what they were doing and take pictures, and the moms were constantly getting nasty texts that we weren't doing enough. But the fact of the matter is, the girls all had the same followers. I mean, they might have a few varied followers, like Leah might have a few older teens that the younger girls didn't have. Kinley had some followers from some viral videos. Dallas had, there was a few, but basically the same 60, 70,000 people that were XOMG fans. That's who the girls were just marketing to those same people over and over and over. Mm-hmm. And nothing was ever done. They flopped on AGT. Like, nothing was ever done. There wasn't a publicist. They weren't out in the public eye. They weren't really attending events. They weren't, doing a bunch of stuff to get the notoriety that they needed. They weren't going to radio stations because we didn't have distribution to get to the radio stations. I believe the Jason show and stuff that we got at the Mall of America was because Mall of America booked it.
Not Justin JoJo.
So, we were constantly asking, can we get TV shows? Can we get talk shows? And I want to talk about that because I was messaging talk shows trying to get the girls on the Kelly Clarkson show, trying to get,
we were trying to get us stuff. Where were they?
But at the time, I wasn't thinking about the fact that JoJo was at war with Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon is under Viacom. Most of those, Viacom is the head of it all, of everything. So if you're at war with something under them, they can squash you like a bug.
And almost all the talk shows are with them.
Just flip JoJo Siwa off. No, my child is too classy for that. We're not gonna condone that behavior. She has a lot of young fans, and we're not gonna condone that kind of behavior.
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't think it's appropriate. No, I don't feel comfortable talking about the other girls in the group that have left because they are under NDAs. Other than, they're great kids. And they're all doing good things.
Do you think they were posting shady things to get a reaction like the videos?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, of course. And it's
of course they were.
That's not...
And we're getting so much support. 98% is positive and only 2% is negative, and
it's what are the shady
and the negative is coming from fake accounts or tests or family members of the Siwas or the moms under fake accounts or Jess and JoJo under fake accounts. Who knows? What are we hoping to get out of showing JoJo's secrets? We're just hoping to raise awareness and tell our story. And we're tired of people with money in this industry thinking they can do whatever they want. It's not right, especially to children. Money and power aren't carte blanche to do whatever you want in the world, or it shouldn't be. In our world, it is that way, especially in the entertainment industry, but it shouldn't be that way. I would like to see the laws change to cover the kids for anything they do, social media, Instagram, YouTube. If they're working at all for anybody, I would like to see those laws cover them. Do you think they wanted 7 people in the group, or do you think they knew they were going to let people go? I absolutely don't think they wanted 7. I think Jess had no qualms about releasing kids from the TV show. If she wanted a smaller number, she would have made it a smaller number. She didn't owe any of us anything. If she would have wanted 3 or 4 or 5, she would have cut people. I mean, it wasn't like she didn't cut people. And she brought Bella back because they, really liked Bella. And actually, I don't know what all went on with the whole cutting thing, and I'm not getting into Bella's story. That's for her to tell. But, they brought her back because they thought she added something to the group. And, they didn't have to do that. And if they would have, I don't think they were ever planning to fire people. No, because they're investing money in the kids and music videos and T-shirts and things like that. And so then you know, you got to put an ice cream cone over somebody's face, or you got to scratch out their face with out of pictures with fingernail polish like they did Leah's. So that's kind of money wasted through. And I hope that because Leigha and I are speaking out, that conditions are better for the girls that are in the group, that they're getting paid, and that they get paid what they're owed for the tour that they're going on. And they get paid for merch, that they get the advances. And I hope in Jesus' name that Penelope's mom didn't sign these contracts. Hope she was smarter than I was.
We've said what we've said.
So how did you actually make money within the group? We didn't make money.
We did not.
The Siwas sold merch. Any money that came from that went to them. The Amazon money, the Walmart money. One day I was sitting in the studio back when JoJo opened her Pride shop, and I was working for Jez for $20 an hour, and I was sitting there folding t-shirts, packing orders or whatever of JoJo's merch, and JoJo came in, and I heard Jez tell JoJo, hey, the XOMG pop money came in. I put it in my account, but I can move it to your account.
Allegedly.
It's not alleged. I heard it, if with my own ears. But we can say alleged, but it did happen. And she said, but I can put it in your account as payback or something. And JoJo said, yeah, just put it in my account.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and just because it may be better now, it doesn't erase what happened. Yes, and 4 girls don't either get fired.
Went through the same thing, but they unfortunately can't talk about it.
Yeah, and they don't. And 2 of them left of their own accord. Why would they do that if it was
better after I was gone?
Right. Like, why would they do that? They left just literally a couple of months after Leigha.
Yeah, exactly.
Because everything that I'm saying is true.
Take it to TikTok, Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, Instagram, girl, whatever platforms.
Yeah. And support the people that are supporting us, support their videos, share their videos, subscribe to them, like their videos, go on other platforms and talk about, about the situation. It's up to us to keep it alive so that change can happen.
Exactly.
And we have to think about the children still in the group. And so we have to think about making change for them. I think you're all going to be sued. You'll have what? You will have your chance in court. Sad.
You're taking
your own daughter. Well, the fact of the matter is you can't be sued for slander if it's the truth. And the Rolling Stone magazine verified everything we said. We have things in writing. That's why I put, this is in writing. The things I've talked about in the contracts are in writing. These are their contracts. I can't be sued for that. They can be sued for not following up their contracts.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I haven't said certain things, because I would need the other moms to back those things up. And since there are certain things that we aren't saying, but everything that I have, timestamp photos, I have calendars, I have school records, I have pay stubs. If they could refute anything that I said,
we do have receipts, timelines, whatever.
And Rolling Stone got all of my proof. And if you actually read the article, they'll say, this was provided. That's how we know this. We talked to other people. That's how we know this is fact. Rolling Stone wasn't going to print anything that they could be sued for.
Exactly.
And it all went through their lawyers as well, multiple times, because we had several dates for the article to be released earlier than what it was.
But they wanted to dig more into it.
Yes, and give the Siwas a chance to answer to the,
which they did not.
Which they didn't. They just slammed me, but they didn't answer to the accusations. So, there's, and the fact of the matter is, if they sue me, then, we can deposition all these people, and the NDAs could possibly get thrown out. So then all those moms could testify, and then they'd be really screwed. And then, then we could subpoena the sound man who sat right beside JoJo as she
was screaming in our ears.
There's saying all the nasty stuff.
There's videos of him right there, right next to him.
So we can subpoena all these people. We can subpoena all the backup dancers that were there at the Dream Tour sound checks and heard Leigha being raked over the coals.
They were sitting in the audience while we were doing
them. So we can subpoena all of them as well and depose them. And when it comes down to it, are they going to want to have the Siwa's back because they get paychecks from them? Yes. But are they willing to perjure themselves in a court of law and lie? I don't think so, because these people have careers outside of the Siwas as well. So I don't think that they are there. Her family and the moms, I think, would lie for them, but I don't think these outside people will lie for them. I really don't. All right. And she's really alienated some other people as well, that I think would talk as well. So, you know, if they try to, I'm not worried at all, because if they sue me,
we have more to back it up. Like,
yeah, that's why they're not talking. If they paid the girls, where are the checks? But you all have seen the text, and if you haven't, go to Reddit where it talks about. She said, I didn't have to pay the kids. Well, you damn sure did.
That's where we're ending it.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you for tuning in for another video on my channel. I'm so thankful to all of you guys that watch these videos still, and I'm just so grateful. So if you are brand new here and you wanted to become a member of this channel, not like a paid member, just a subscriber, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell notification so that you get reminded sometimes when I post a new video. And let me know your guys' opinions on the whole JoJo Siwa and her mom Jesselyn and how they've been treating the girls from XOMG Pop. Do you think that they should be let out of their contracts? Let me know down in the comments below. And do you think that the girls should be adequately paid? Also let me know down in the comments below. And like the NDAs that the other girls had to sign, I feel like they should have the freedom to be able to speak. But let me know what you guys think, and about the entire Dance Moms reunion, chime in down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. In the meantime, if you missed my last video reacting to the Dance Moms reunion trailer, you can check that out here. And as always, make sure to be weird, be wild, and stay sparkly, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.